All right, hello, welcome back. It's the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Leo Messi comes to America. Go ahead and get the likes up for Leo. Subscribe to the channel. What are we saying, guys? What do we think about this development?
It's incredible. Let's be
Messi
honest.
to
I
Inter.
mean, it's incredible. You're talking about arguably the greatest player to ever play the game that has decided, yes, he's on the back end of his career, obviously, but he's still got a few good years left in him, and he's still going to put on a show because
Well,
of the type of
relative
talent
to
he's playing against.
MLS, yeah.
Oh, he's
Relative to
gonna.
the MLS,
Yeah, no, and no one's gonna be able to. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you all a question before I make my statement. How much MLS have you watched this year?
I've watched 2 matches.
yeah,
Okay.
same.
I've been to a bunch of them because I'm a season ticket holder, and so
Humble brag.
it's not a humble brag because
Not a humble brag at all.
the only reason but Jake knows because I told you all this. The only reason I chose to become a season ticket holder is because I wanted to go to the All-Star game. That's it. There was no other reason. The investment was for that. Now, did I know that buying, a season ticket would get me the All-Star game plus the skills challenge thing? And I mean, again, I'm saying this because they would be absolutely stupid to not have him there, but to
Right.
then have Messi at the All-Star game, because why would he not be at the All-Star game?
Yeah.
It's on a Wednesday in the middle of the week. You would literally mash all the TV ratings because there's nothing else on.
Nothing else happening.
So-
Some MLB baseball that no one
So
cares
if
about.
anyone, if somehow MLS fumbles that, then they deserve whatever happens to them. But I'm excited because what's going to happen is even though it sounds like the retirement league because they're talking about bringing Di Maria into Miami as well with him. Yes, they're going
Nice.
to bring his teammates with him because they
Nice.
want to feel good, But my thing is, and I said it in the chat, and I'm so dead serious about this. If MLS has an opportunity to say, hey, Ronaldo, even though I know there's some legal thing or whatever, call him. And the reason you call him is I will take a geriatric Messi versus Ronaldo in America twice a season all the time. Plus, if you put them on opposite coasts, that means you could fix. I'm not saying that you should fix games, but you could fix the final where either they play
Messi Ronaldo final,
for the Lamar
baby.
Cup.
Oh my
They
gosh!
fix
Can you
the final
imagine the
for Lamar
ratings?
Cup, is the Lamar Hunt Cup trophy, right? So you got that tournament.
Well, that's the U.S.
And
Cup.
the MLS Cup, you're telling me that the MLS it doesn't even matter how much money you pay him because it's going to pay for itself. The fact that my friend he lives in Charlotte, he has 3 season tickets to Charlotte FC, and I went with him to a game, and he looked at it before the Messi news finished, and the tickets for where his seats were I think $40 for the seats. He said, "Hey man, I've been looking at the tickets. This is before the Messi news was like official. The seats were $300 before it was final. He sent me the things. The tickets are now $800.
No.
What I'm saying, and yes, I know it's gouging. And somebody said, "Well, Ticketmaster has to do something about that." No, they don't. It's a free
They
market.
don't.
That's literally the reason why it happens like that.
If you'll pay it, right?
Ticketmaster is the evil empire from
They
Star
are a monopoly and they're evil.
Wars. Thing about it. They're just gonna laugh all the way to the bank. They're not
But
gonna
the
do a
thing about
thing
it is-
about it.
But the thing about it is that Ticketmaster can't jack those prices up if the people don't jack the prices up. Literally, the people have to do it as resellers.
They enter.
I've
Yes,
resold
they
tickets,
enter it
and they
in.
tell me, yeah, but you have to choose the price. So while we can blame Ticketmaster because they're the medium, it still takes the puppets to do what the puppet master wants. And so from that, I just look at it and I'm like, Messi will give us 3 years here. He'll give us 3 years like Beckham gave us about 3 years. If you can manage to get Ronaldo, if not this year, to start the next season, it's a win. It's an absolute win. And while if I'm the head of USA Soccer, I'm really pushing for it because the World Cup is coming here. Why would you not both want both of those guys here right before the World Cup?
Well, you got Copa America in 24
And I was
coming
going
to
to
the
say
United
that.
States.
Right. But now the only reason I said Ronaldo's for the World Cup part because for Copa you would want to have like some South American star that would fit, but I don't know who would fit that. Maybe No, I can't think of anybody that would have like name power like that. That's where
Only Neymar, but he's still got time.
Neymar's still good for that. So,
Yeah.
but this is where Ronaldo makes sense. This is I get like that's why the Di Maria makes sense, and just pull Argentine guys or
Right.
pull some Brazilian guys. I'm sure bring Thiago Silva over here. Chelsea would be glad to let him go.
Yes.
Yeah.
But bring the guy. I mean, it's literally, and yes, people will say it's the retirement league, but so what? That's what Saudi's doing, and they're taking the money. And you know what? People will watch it here because there's 360 million people in this country.
100%.
Why would
Yep.
you not do it?
I think that they're you've hit on something interesting here, Lewis, and how they're going to capitalize on how the market has grown. And I was thinking about this. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, but the impact that the NBC TV rights deal with Premier League the first time has had on U.S. fanship and viewership of the Premier League cannot be understated. And
Huge.
it's the scaffolding, it's the foundation, it's everything that what's happening right now has been built on.
And
As
Apple
far
sees it.
as far as
Apple
this
sees it.
Premier League in America thing, and now attracting people like Messi, and I mean even attracting David Beckham way back when. Because how long has NBC had the rights to the league? I think the original 10-year deal.
It's like 5 years now, something like that.
No, it's longer. I think the original deal was 10 years.
Oh no, I thought you meant like how long have they been doing? I think it's 5 because ESPN completely dropped the ball on that. God, they dropped the ball.
Yeah, because ESPN for years had one game. It was the lunchtime kickoff in England, and it was the 7:30 a.m. game on ESPN2 for the longest time. That's all they would show. They fumbled that completely. But when NBC stepped in, I would say they've built the foundation for everything that's happening now.
Well, and if just to add on that, to piggyback, because apparently with the MLS deal that Messi gets some stock and he gets a part of the subscribers for Apple TV.
From Apple, yeah.
You got to think about this. Apple just released that VR thing. You think they're not going to have that stuck in that VR thing right away?
Yeah.
And so you're telling me that they don't have the money to say, "Hey, Ronaldo, you want to be in people's VR?" It would be stupid not to go after Ronaldo.
It's Apple.
It would be dumb not to go after him.
Yeah. Yep.
It would be dumb. And so just the NBC thing you were talking about, Apple is like, we saw what NBC did. They basically, if you own a season ticket for any MLS team, they gave you Apple TV for free. And then they had the deal where if you don't use it, they will donate it. So there's a reason they're pushing Apple TV that hard.
Yeah.
And so that means that's going to be there. And then what's the biggest show on Apple TV? And we all know it's Ted Lasso. Which is also a soccer program. And so you're trying to tell me that Apple is not seeing what NBC did and say, hey, we're going to make MLS relevant. And how do you make it relevant? You go get Messi. But you know how you make it really relevant? You go get Cristiano Ronaldo and you say, hey, Cristiano, we'll pay whatever it is and whatever legal thing you're dealing with, we'll deal with that. But we want you, if Messi's in Miami, we either want you in New York or Los Angeles.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's interesting. Have y'all seen? I know we've talked about the Apple deal just now, but have you seen that all of the MLS clubs work together with Inter Miami to make this happen? So
yeah, of course,
I mean, this is something where everybody's all in, and I think it's funny. 94 seems like forever ago. It's going to be 32 years come the World Cup coming back. But the growth in the game, I've got a friend that he always laughs that I say that the game of soccer is growing in the U.S. and that we're going to get better as a national team, and we won't talk about the national team because they tick me off. But my point being is 94 led to the growth or the creation of MLS. MLS has now created soccer academies. They've sent kids over to, Europe to start playing for, large European clubs. This is that next step. So they're taking advantage of, okay, we've got an established league. Yeah, we were the retirement league, and we're still okay with being the retirement league, but we'll be okay with being the retirement league if we can get the best. I mean, they've done it with Zlatan. They did it with Henry.
Beckham, Drogba.
Beckham. I mean, you name the list.
Here's something that I'm hoping this also does to piggyback on what you're saying, Patrick, is that with all of these players who are coming to America, hopefully some of these guys are going to be endeared to our culture, to our infrastructure, to our, just to living here, to being here, and they'll want to help coach in America, want to help, because that's what we really need. I think that's what really separates American national teams from the rest of the world, is that we don't have that enthusiasm at the coaching level. So if we can get some of these greats who probably want to coach to contribute to American organizations, to MLS teams, to maybe even the U.S. men's national team setup, that would be a huge, huge boost and continue the growth. And maybe, just maybe we'll have a chance, in 2064 or something like that.
Well, Jake, let me piggyback off that, because I had a chance to, coach
There he is.
some. And so, but one of the things that I see that's distinctly different, because I had a chance to be in different places to see like football in different places, is that, and I mean, this is, it's less so now, but it still is. In the United States, first of all, even though it's not football, it's soccer. Soccer is a rich kid sport. And so that's the first problem.
Like lacrosse.
That's the first problem in the United States right there. Because Messi, Neymar, Messi, you name them. These stars, with the exception of I would even say Cristiano. All these guys came from lower middle to poor backgrounds because they're just athletically gifted and somebody took time with them. Here, because of the college system, and that's never going to go away. The college system is always going to be there. But the issue with that is that you got guys who are, if there's not silver spoons, they're really good silverware spoons in their mouths, and then you got travel leagues where the leagues and the private teams cost money. So you're just hiring a guy who doesn't necessarily know what he's doing. You're just paying him, and okay, they get badges, but I mean, you can pay for those badges. So yeah. I look at that and I'm saying, it's you got to extend the sport to other people. And the reason I say that is, if you look at American sports and you see you look at the other leagues and you look at these guys who are really good, where do they come from? So let's go to baseball really quick. Where are the best players coming from? They're Dominican and they're poor.
Yeah.
And they're hungry. Yep. Right. Or there's Latino and they're poor. I mean, okay, baseball is an upper middle class American sport, but the stars. And then you go, okay, well, let's go to basketball. Well, basketball, outside of the Euro kids coming in who come from not well-to-do families and they have to hustle their way up, the American stars who play basketball, where do they come from? Same thing. But somehow soccer, the one sport that we perform the least with the least success, is one that's literally connected to socioeconomic status. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't make sense to me. And it's the only sport we don't do well in, because money actually blocks out talent. Because think of tracking, you name something that we're good at on an Olympic level and poor people participate in it. But soccer, you don't have that. I can't name a poor kid who's ever played American soccer that's a star. Not one.
Maybe Clint Dempsey.
But even Clint is like that middle class humble guy, which I know you can't stand him. But I mean, even then, but you saw he was more salt of the earth than anybody else. Yeah. I like Landon Donovan for the story of it, right? But Landon, you could see he was an upper middle class guy. Yeah. And so we look at him, we're looking at these guys and we don't get it. Tim Howard, right? And I know you don't particularly care for him, but Tim Howard, they moved him off to England when he was a kid. And
Well,
so
you-
we got to look at like our academies are not addressing that. And as long as soccer in this country is pay to play, then that's what you're going to do. And you say, well, we can't get the athletes. Yeah, because it costs money.
Yeah.
Because, but you see how many poor kids play football, and football costs money.
Yeah.
American
Yeah, but
football costs
you've already answered your own question because the boat
Maybe it was a
stops
diatribe then.
soccer at college.
At college.
Yeah.
Because okay, football does cost money or whatever, but those kids who are told, playing football in the streets, they know that one day if they work and they play and they work
Alabama.
for it, they'll be millionaires.
Yep.
Same with basketball. Even golf, you can make a ridiculous amount of money in. Soccer, here's where it stops. Again, you've already said it, at college, because college football has a ridiculous amount of money in it.
And
College
they'll never relinquish.
ridiculous amount of money in
And
it.
because of things like Title 13, you'll never have a men's soccer league compete
Have you
anywhere.
even been to a college men's game?
I have.
I have, yeah.
I coached it. I coached the college men's team for a little bit.
So you know exactly what I'm saying. There's no money.
None.
No.
You know exactly what I'm saying then, even better than I do. There's no money.
Well, I think one of the things also that we have to consider is there's not been a star in the U.S. that attracts kids to want to potentially play the sport. And Leo Messi, everybody knows
He'll
who
do that.
Lionel Messi is. If you don't, you live under a rock.
Right.
Leo Messi's coming to Charlotte. There will be kids all over the place just to see him play.
Messi.
If he ever decides to do like a camp, there will be kids from every part of this country trying to go to a camp that Leo Messi may not even
Leo
perform
Messi.
at. He'll just show up and say, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah.
I think that's the one. We talk about the college system, and it is most definitely a deterrent to the game growing in this country, but pay to play as well. But we just haven't had stars. Like you think about the U.S. national team. You love Landon. Landon's great. He was a MLS star. That's all he was. Clint Dempsey, he was a little bit more, he was playing in Europe. He was playing for, Fulham. I think he played for Tottenham at one point.
Play for Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why.
but until we had NBC putting those games on TV, when did you see Clint Dempsey play during the World Cup? Every 4 years? How do you keep an interest with somebody if your stars aren't visible all the time?
Did you ever see Timmy Howard play for Manchester United?
I didn't. I saw him play for Everton, but I didn't see him play for Manchester United.
Exactly.
I saw a
It's-
documentary about that when he got cut from United and they sold him to Everton.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I mean,
that
that's
was-
the point. You got a legitimate star now in this country that maybe he only plays at 50%, but that 50% is still better than about 95% of the
Most
league.
of the league.
Yep.
So it's gonna do things that it's incredible that they were able to pull this off. And honestly, on the business side of things, it's
Brilliant.
It's something that will be studied in business
It's
schools.
brilliant.
It is
Absolutely.
absolutely brilliant. It shows, though, that there is a strong focus. One, we've got the World Cup coming up. We want to, strengthen that interest. But there's a strong focus of actually making this work.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta go
definitely,
for Ronaldo.
I definitely think they will.
Gotta go for Ronaldo. The iron is too damn hot to not do it. You
Gotta
gotta
grab
go for another star. Because if you can get two legitimate stars, if you can get two,
Yeah, I mean the jersey sales alone are going to be ridiculous. I already I was driving in Asheville and went by the elementary school. I saw an Al Nassr Ronaldo jersey on a playground. And that's a game, and I know that kid has not watched a single Al Nassr game.
It's just
he has-
Ronaldo.
It's just Ronaldo.
Did you
So-
see the stat that Messi sold the same amount of value in jerseys as like the value of all the jersey sales or something like that in all of the MLS just in one season at PSG?
Yep.
So
If you
yeah,
don't-
as soon as that Inter Miami jersey dropped, it's gonna be
Gone.
flying. to show.
He'll be gone.
Be flying. They should make so many of those. They need to make so many of those because
I
they're
was
gonna
discussing
they're
this
gonna
with
disappear immediately.
I was discussing this with somebody earlier today, and we were talking about Charlotte's. It was funny. The Messi news started leaking. I guess it was yesterday, and at 3:00, Charlotte put out on their Instagram page that they had just opened the upper decks for the Miami game, and you go, and the cheapest ticket's $135.
So
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sitting here thinking, do I want to pay it? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Dude, and I'm gonna put it like this. So I went there. Now again, I know you're a soccer guy, so you get it. So I a few weeks ago I went to a Charlotte game. First of all, it's the most American football soccer environment I've ever been in life. I've never seen anything like this before. It literally feels like I'm at an American football game, and I didn't understand it. They don't. I think they know what's going on, but I think most of them don't know what's going on, which is kind of funny, but it's kind of not funny. But the energy, and I'm not gonna lie about this, the energy in there, absolutely bonkers.
That's what's up.
Bonkers. And so I remember when they had their first game and they did the first game and they opened the whole stadium and
the whole stadium was full.
So what, 80 something, 70 something?
76,000, I think.
Something
Somewhere around there.
You have to understand when they open the stadium for Messi to come, not only will that entire stadium be filled, all of the bars and all of the establishments around that place are going to be absolutely bonkers.
Packed
And
to the
it's going to
gills.
be worth it.
It'll be worth it. Yeah.
The gills.
I mean, seriously, I'm considering sitting in the nosebleeds and paying $135 just to say that I saw him play in person. I may need binoculars, even though Charlotte, the upper deck's not too bad. I may need binoculars, but I can at least say I saw Leo Messi play in person. Just like we were talking the other night about Zlatan. I saw Zlatan score in person. That's stuck with me.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's some, yeah.
Well, already sinking in, already insinuating itself into the American market, into American fans. It's that Messi effect. And if you're as excited about it as we are, go ahead and smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel and get that notification bell on. I'm sure you'll hear about Messi on this channel again before too long. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And I hope you have a wonderful evening.